What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. I want to come in here real quick. Let me see if I can remove this background first and foremost. Um, I don't even know how I got this background on here, but I want to. Let me try to switch this up here. Um, I want to come in and I just want to share some stuff with y'all with my visit over here to Israel. It's been a beautiful journey here. It's been an awesome opportunity for me to learn some things. It's been eye opening, a grand mind experience where it's moved me. And of course, you've seen some of my videos where I had posted of some of the activities that were going on. But let me see if I can remove this background because it is not like dealing or doing what it should be doing. Um, I think I was playing around one day and wind up hitting something, I guess. But the anyway, okay. I want to open up the channels here for brothers and sisters to come in and share. For those who's watched the videos, for those who have seen what's going on here in Israel, Dimona, and for those who might have questions, even those Hebrew Israelites out there who are out there who want to come and call in and chime in, you are more than welcome to do as such as well, to give your experience being here on in Israel, and sharing some of your thoughts and your experiences. Like I said, being here, maybe motivating and encouraging people maybe come visit, this place, because it's an awesome place that I think everybody should be able to come out, enjoy, and learn from. Most definitely learn from. Um, when I got here, I fell into a sickness, and the sisters were able to revive a brother, and it was beautiful to have um, those who were attentive in what they do. Their experience was to help and assist those who are sick. Some of the sisters, that's what their professions are here. That's what they do, in building the community and overwatching and ensuring that the health is at its utmost place. I experienced love. I experienced the joy of people extending themselves to me, not just because maybe some know me or some have heard of me, and how sometimes you run across superficial people, but we're talking about a genuine love of a people who wanted to embrace me and really want to show off all that has been done to a community where it's bettered everybody spiritually, physically, and mentally. You know, when I look at America and I see the devastations that's happened in the Black community, and I see that it's plummeting, I see that it is at its all-time low, morally, spiritually, mentally. It's bothered me so much. And this is one reason for my channel, Go Black to Africa, is because I believe there is a better place than America, than Europe, than the UK, than Canada, than Australia, where the predominantly Europeans have the control, have um, the say so in the lives of your own, where we don't have the affordability, if you will, the fortitude, don't have the discipline, we don't have the independent mindset to be able to paint our future off of how we should see it without any outside influence trying to continuously tear down a people. Um, so I say all that to say that, Go Black to Africa is not only physically going black, but also spiritually going black, mentally going black. You know, black has become a word over the past few hundred years as a negative. They want to use words like blackmail, black plague, um, these all of these different words that are of a negative connotation, and the depiction of what black is to be so negative that so many people don't even want to don't even they can't even live in their own skin. Some want to bleach their skin, some want to change who they are, some change their culture, some will who like certain culture foods we loved, whether it was the collard greens, whether it was the sweet potatoes and the watermelon, and whether it was fried chicken, whether it was whatever it was, many ran away from it with the embarrassment of thinking that those who looked upon you with a negative eye, you felt as though that you were less than and changed who you were. This is something where we have lost truly who we are as a people. And I understand this because the ignorance. And when you are educated by a system of people who will not even share with you the truth of who you are, I understand. I understand why it is the way it is. I understand that the ignorance that we have of who we are, not knowing who we will behave in fashions on taking on these uh, personalities, these characteristics. But when I was here in Israel, in Dimona to be exact, in the Hebrew Israelite community, I got to see some things that I hadn't seen and experienced in years. Children being children, children not being filled with fear, anguish, scarred, um, with anxiety, depression. I haven't seen the children here who are carrying a weight on their shoulder of the worries that our children deals with on a day-to-day basis in America. I haven't seen the children have a disregard, a disrespect for their elders. I've seen nothing but utmost respect. I've seen elders who would pull a child aside if they were not acting right, you know, bend their ear to hear a word of wisdom in order to correct that child. I've seen that. I've seen here where there is no protection over your own child, but your child is in the hands of others as well. It's everybody's child, or rather, it's the kingdom's child. In America, we've become so individualized. Everybody's on their own desert island that no one wants others to say anything to their child. We are in a defense mode. We have no trust for one another. We don't have any belief system in the Almighty, that we only lean on to our own understanding and our know-how. We aimlessly wander day to day in a system that is on fire, that is prohibiting people from really truly experiencing the kingdom. Take it from me. I'm not no young pup. And I know that, here in today's world, I have had a chance to watch things come full circle. And the youth doesn't see this, but we who have some space of time on this earth get to see, how things begin to unravel, how things are unfolding, how things are getting worse. And It's very disheartening for me. It's very disheartening for me when I see the devastation that goes on. You know, I'll say this right here is that even though the system is in place, we have to wake up to realize we are our worst enemy. We have given our power over to an enemy. You can't blame the enemy. There is no more excuse to blame the enemy. For there is examples out here, like here in Israel, Dimona, where people got tired or sick and tired of being tired of a system that was not out for them, that they took measures in their own hand to move outside of a country and go seek a place that would be better for them. Hence the place here we sit in, Dimona, Israel. I have I've said in my other video, the number one spot now, because people ask me, what's my favorite spot? You know, where would it be on my base? And I don't have that. I don't have favorites. I don't have base. But I'm saying where Ethiopia was my place, that it was a spiritual awakening for me to see and experience those things of old. Dimona, Israel is top's place for the things of new. Dimona, Israel, we're not talking about the name, we're talking about a people, a community. An example, I believe that many can follow, that many in America and these other countries, people who have an aspiration to try to build their communities need to come here to Dimona, Israel. For all those leaders who are trying to make change in America for the community, needs to come here and sit at the feet of the elders, sit at the feet of the ministers, sit at the feet of the mothers, and understand how are you able to build a community on a foundation of Yah or God, and have that continue to what we see today, 55 years and moving. For we have no example. We choose not to follow an example. One would say the scripture scribes, or excuse me, the scrolls or the ancient writings. You know, nobody wants to follow that format, which is first and foremost foundational truth one should stand on. But what I'm saying, family, is that we have to wake up. If our brothers and sisters who are the diaspora around the globe, because I've seen them, whether you talk Brazil, whether you talk Jamaica, whether you talk Belize, whether you talk America, Canada, Europe, UK, Australia, the Black communities are failing miserably. There's one thing being suppressed, oppressed, but there's another thing when you have self-inflictions, when you do harm to your own self. You see, the oppressor will never respect you when you don't respect yourself. This is the first and foremost thing. The oppressor will never respect you when you don't respect yourself. You see, when the oppressor sits back and watch and see that you live a life at a higher standard, only then that this entity, this power, you say God, Allah, whatever you want to give the name, opens the eyes of your oppressor to see that they will measure themselves according to you and see that the wrong they do you. But when you in the mud with them waddling, life filled of foolishness, lavishness, evilness, why would they care for you? You see, while I'm here in Dimona, and I've been receiving some reports of the struggles that even the Israelis didn't want to receive our brothers and sisters into this country. But because of God opening up the door to see what are the hearts of the people, our brothers and sisters, we're going to see. And what the report is that they're amazed. These Israelis, amazed that these people who are calling themselves the Hebrews, they're walking the walk, they're talking the talk, the language, their health, their diet is in alignment with what even they, the Israelis, are saying is supposed to be the teachings of one's everyday life. Their accountability to the Most High, that their children are in order, that they're teaching the precepts, the concepts, they're teaching the 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 laws, they're teaching the principles, that they sit amazed when they come visit the communities and are in awe because of they have this lifestyle. They have this community that is an example to those who are calling themselves the chosen ones. So then that it piques interest in those to really go back and they discuss amongst each other in high seats. Who are these people? Well, it's already, the truth already is known who the people are. But every time they turn around, the children that gets out into their communities and other cities are dominating in their actions, are dominating in the schools, dominating in the sports, dominating in the behavior and the characteristics of being upright as an example unto Yah. This is what they are taking note of. Why would an oppressor want to do anything for you when you acting just as foolish as them? Why would anybody would want to assist and help or at least give what is deserved them for the pain they endured over many hundreds of years when you don't look peculiar, when you don't look different, when you talking the same as they, doing the same as they, behaving the same? Why would they want to help? Because in America, I've been over to England, I've been over to Canada, in Toronto, I've been over into the UK, I've been to Europe, I lived in Europe, and every black community suffers. Been down in the Central Americas and the South Americas, and it's because we are a stiff-necked, hard-headed people who just want to live our life and do what we want to do and follow others. We want to follow other people in this world and put aside the very thing that was given us to be the leaders. It's amazing. You know, I had a brother. We were in the military together, and he had reached out to me, and he had he caught up on what I was doing, and I want to read this real quick because this is something that many people have question about, and I want to try to put it to you in the terms of how it was presented to me in the spirit. My brother, who's in the military, he says this to me. He sent me a video of a brother that is um, in America, and go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you. Let me see if I can do this first. Because this right here, he was surprised at my response. And I'm quite sure he didn't like it. I'm going to see if I can upload this, but this is on. I've never tried to forward anything out of Messenger. I think you can only send messages to those that are in Messenger. Um, Hold on a second here. Because this is very important. This is going to be the mindset. I'm sharing this because so you can understand the mindset of why I don't blame people for not believing in a God when you have watched people who are corrupt and evil and stealing money from people and have been doing all these crazy evil things. I don't blame people. I really don't. But don't let the evil ones take away what is rightfully yours by their ill wills, their evilness. That is the thing that we need to be mindful of. Yeah, I won't be able to. Let's see if I do it just this way right here, family. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna just go ahead and play this. Um, and I want y'all to listen to this. Okay, this is what's going on in America and around the globe with our people, with this crime and killing each other, and doing harm and hurt and pain against each other. But let me see if I can. Let me see something. I'm going to. Let me see. Could you see my phone can you see my phone as I put that up? This background, I don't know how I got to take it off. Does anybody know how I can take this background off so I can share this? I'm on StreamYard, so but can you see my let me make sure I see. Can y'all see can you see my phone when I do this? Or because that let me know. Can you see that? Because I don't know how to remove this, but we're gonna play this video right here. Um, Let me see what y'all saying here. No, 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 no. Okay, you can't. All right, so let me try to do this real quick. Okay, so let me try to do this. Let me try to do. That's not gonna help any. Y'all just bear with me 1 second here as I try to. This just came to mind, and I am just trying to see if I can play this video for you all. Maybe not, but anyway, okay. So it looks like I'm unable to do this. Let me just try this one more time to try to see if I can remove this background. Um, Let me see. Y'all bear with me, fam. We got 239 people in here, and I'm hoping that you all will sit tight and be a little patient because I'm trying to see how I can get this. Maybe I won't be able to, but let me just continue on, and I'm gonna read what he said. Anyway, he put a video up of a young man that's in the hood in America that did a poem about this the destruction of what's happening within the Black community. And I'm going to, at least you can't see it, but I'm gonna let you hear it. We'll do that.
Screaming, stop the violence! Like when it's really gonna stop? More in the news got me feeling like deja vu. 3, 4, 5 more shot. Murder rate at an all-time high. KC is getting killed. The new way to die. It's a massive. We slaughtering each other in the middle of the land. It's petty. The beef privilege. Without a cause. No life insurance plan. Family setting up GoFundMe's to bury you, man. It's like we love to put your face on the shirt. Love to see our community hurt. Moms crying, aching with pain, holding remains of her baby. It's a massacre. When the violence gonna stop? Calling all big homies, cousins, uncles, and dads. Smack that youngin' upside the head and take his Glock. Lace it with knowledge, teach him the box. Yeah. Give him a hug, man. They missing her love, man. Graveyards and penitentiaries packed with young blacks. I stand on the front line to bring power, love, and unity back. Because it's a massacre. Just marinate on that. I need you to feel this in the heart. Take it back home, dissect it, and play your part. Yes, sir. Mentor some, be a role model. Take them under your wing. Teach them the value of another human being. Right. This black on black is whack. Whack. If we kill us and they kill us, who we got? We ain't living long enough to see if black don't crack. It's a massacre. An attack on black. We so brainwashed with material things, it's hard for us to see that we're kings and queens. Yeah. The original being. Yeah. The mathematics of everything. It's a massacre. When the violence gonna stop? Right now. One.
Beautiful poem. Beautiful poem. And you know, people can do all they can to try to make a change and try to bring people together. We've been screaming unity for the hundreds and hundreds of years. Take a young man under your wing. Take a young girl under your wing. Become mentors. This is what he's saying. If you ain't got God's love, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean a hill of beans. That ain't nothing but a poem. If you ain't gonna scratch and shake and rock and tear down that foundation of this garbage that we've built upon and start with the Most High's foundation, you wasting time. How are you gonna end violence with your own thinking, your own mindset, with your own ideas of how to bring unity? Who's going to create the laws? Who's going to create, what's so funny is when you look in the hood, they used to have these laws on the street. They used to have these etiquettes. These 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 are things that you got to do or shouldn't do when you in the hood. They created these laws. If you can't, if Black America, Black society, the diaspora, we as a people don't go back to a righteousness state. I ain't talking religion, y'all. I'm not talking religion. I ain't talking about going to no church. I ain't talking about singing and dancing with your hands. I ain't talking about that. They ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't talking about trying to look no part, put on some clothes, grow a beard, put on, all this. That has nothing to do with it. It's all your heart. How do you change a person's heart? Or how can a person change their own heart? How can the Most High change a person's heart? My military buddy sent me that video. And my response was just another rap that will end that will end in crap. That's what I said. That's just another rap that's going to end in crap. It ain't going to get the people nowhere. Sounds good. It's stimulating for just a short period of time, and then guess who comes steal it? That evilness within you, it overrides it, and you just going about your everyday business. You're going to have to Black America's going to have to tear down this idea of who they think they are. Well, go black, well, then what happened then? Because Black people were supposedly following God and nothing got better in the Black communities. Now we on to something. Whose God was we following? See, when you following somebody else's God, you ain't going to see results. Are you saying, Go Black, that the church in America was following a different God than what actually we should? Yes. Take it from me. I was a minister for 20 some years. Yeah. That ain't the Most High. Not the way that it's been laid out and the way it's been taught, the way it's been mimicked, copycat, copywritten from the master who gave it to you, and you follow that same suit over and over again, that they never told you that they took from the original and turn it around and created their own, and we follow suit to follow it. And you wonder, because a day comes, it's like, hold up. Either this God is a lie, or man is a lie. And if I don't see results, something should dawn on people. I'm in the wrong camp. When I realized I was in the wrong camp, I walked away. I heard the Spirit tell me, get out of that church, get away from it. Where I found you in your living room before you was about to take your life, I am that I am on that one. Not what they teaching. Now, I'm not going to say that, some of the scrolls, the ancient writings and the scriptures that aren't, they don't have their place. They do. You got to have a spiritual discernment, know how to go ahead and walk through some writings when it's been translated, mistranslated and all that, right? You got to have some understanding. You just can't walk through the jungle and thinking you're going to make it on the other side without having a roadmap. That spirit. America is not going to, Black America is not going to get any better by trying to fix it itself when self ain't fixed. This is not going to happen. We failed when we continue the same format past after during slavery on through the 70s and 80s, where that only took us so far. Religion. And people got tired of it. There was no results. When they got tired of it, they walked away. Then what happened? Crack set in and destroyed the community. The feminist movement stepped into the Black community and destroyed a family unit. Guns came into the community and destroyed the little moral value we had. The elders set aside and they zipped their lip And they blamed the new next generation that came in, and the next generation, and the next generation, when the fault was laying on the feet, at the feet of the elders and at the lips of their mouths. Because they only they walked hard, they only got so far. They didn't even know to go spiritually to the next elevation, to the next realm, to the next dimension. They didn't even have a clue, didn't have a know-how, because it was the same rhetoric. Even some of these preachers, these pastors, these bishops, these prophets, self-acclaimed, going to seminaries, to your master's school to learn what? How to connect. You going to a oppressor's school to teach you about being spiritual? That's like going to the person who violates you physically and trying to get them to help you fix that trauma that they put upon you. So my response to my military buddy was, what I played was, it's just another rap that will end in crap. This is his response. He said, there's a chance, but hope not. I always lean on hope and optimism. At worst case, if his message only resonates with one person in his audience, we win. He will but for whoever it resonates, if it's one person, that person's only going to be able to endure for a time. Why? Because life is going to kick him in the butt. Do you think I got this far leaning on myself? Do you know at my weakest moments, do you know I got to find something? I got to search for something, which I call my greater creator, to lean on. Can't lean on man. I got to lean on the Most High. But this is what he said. If it can resonate with some person, at least it will be good. Okay, all right, it will be good. But that person's only going to do it for a short period of time. And that's what happened to us when we were in religion, is that we gassed out. There was no results. We were still poor. We still was having problems. We still weren't being treated as with the respect and dignity that due us. And we gave up. And now we're in the mess that we're in. So I told him, I said, true, my brother. Excuse me for my pessimism. I'm filled with the hope for our people for many. I was filled with hope for our people for many years, seen many attempts in making things better, but it's fallen to lowest level and not going to stop anytime soon. Because we are in these countries. We are in the enemy's household. It's, in my opinion, every brother and sister who has the means needs to get out early. We're under attack from our own, from the European, and a system that is very destructive. I'm pushing the message. And I said, be safe, my brother. See, they always tell me to be safe when I come to Africa. I call my brother because he lives in Texas, where the massacre happened. And so I called him and he didn't answer the phone and everything. So, I said, I guess he called me back. So he called me back 5 minutes. And he going to say, is everything okay? Or all right there? And I said, you asking me, is everything okay? I'm calling you to ask you, is everything okay? And this is the mindset that we have when we are in a burning house. We don't even realize it. And that you asking me, is everything okay? No, bro. No, you're the one who's in the belly of the beast, who I should be really asking, is everything okay? Now I get it, because, I called him out of, off the cuff, and, hey, just want to make sure, is everything all right? But It's funny that when people, engage with you and they hear you going to Africa or you're in Africa, hey, be safe, my brother. Hey, watch your back, and you in America, of all the killings, all the weapons that are on the streets, the drugs that's taking the people out, the homelessness that are in effect, the loss of jobs, the loss of homes, the loss of hope, the anxieties, the depressions that are on an all-time high. My wife, who's a physician, she told me this right here. In her 26 years of practicing, she has never seen so many of her clients coming in with depression and anxiety. And this weed that y'all smoke, that they convinced y'all it's the nature, it's Mother Nature, it's original form, it's we're supposed to have. Let me tell you what she told me. There's a thing now, I cannot remember the science medical term, that these people are coming in now left and right with these coughs that they can't even hold food down, regurgitating it back up from smoking marijuana. See, they don't tell you. They make it seem innocent. See, while you've been falling deeper into the hole while they're legalizing these drugs, legalizing some of these pervertedness things, you get sucked in and become worse. And she's seeing it. She has had her patients tell them, asking for help, who are addicted to pornography. Boys, girls, men, and women coming in with sexual diseases. She hearing these horror stories of what's going on, of people, their own family members violating themselves, their own families. Let me continue with this right here. He responded back to me because I didn't want to, I know how to walk and not go raw, give raw, I don't like to, give raw, vegetables to somebody because sometimes they can't handle it. That's for my Hebrew Israelites because they know, they're vegan and everything, and you go raw sometimes, but some people can't handle it. They want it cooked. So I know that I knew he was going to respond, but I did not want to go and just lay out some stuff to him that I know what the answer is. He says right here, and I'm going somewhere, and I want y'all to pick this up because this is the biggest question I'm asked. Even when I was in part of the religion and all that back years ago, this is the number one question that is asked when about this God. But let me get into the writing of his what he wrote back to me. So he says, "No worry, bro. I understand. It's not easy out here when we have to be watchful of attacks on all sides. It's hard to know who to trust. Although I'm not religious, I'm very spiritual and believe a higher power created us and is watching over us all. I often find myself asking, why does the Creator allow so many atrocities? I don't know the answer, but feel when put positive energy into the world, it gives it back. Maybe not to the person who put it out there, but to somebody. I'm also a big believer in having hope and genuinely believe the idea of hope in the right person can be a game changer. I, I'm hopeful that over time people can rise above even the most difficult circumstances. The end of slavery in America is proof of that. President Nelson Mandela's ability to soar to amazing heights after receiving harsh treatment in South Africa and more than 2 decades in prison. Moreover, these are great examples of the power and of prayer and the power of hope. I've lived in various places around the world and have found all countries to have their own issues and problems, at least the places I've been, where some countries seem weak, others seem strong, and some countries' problems are a lot larger than in other countries. America's racism and high crime is a great example of this. Although I enjoy traveling abroad and have met many great people who have turned me on to new ideas and ways of life, I enjoy America. I know how to navigate it. It's the place that I hail from. It's where my family and the majority of my closest friends reside. Good or bad, it's where I consider home. Wishing you well as you explore to new lands and ideas. I don't believe it's a zero sum game, meaning for one to win, another has to lose. I believe there can be more than one winner. The key is finding peace while being surrounded by people you love and who love you, regardless of what country you find it in. And he hit on some very valid points. But let's get back to that first question. Because sometimes people want to point out, I ain't religious, but I'm spiritual. Okay. Please explain to me what spiritual means. I'm not part of religion. I'm spiritual. But his biggest thing was that is I don't I often find myself asking, why does the creator allow so many atrocities? You know, before I turned over a new leaf or had a renewed mindset, a rebirthing, a renewing, I always stayed in the heat of trouble, in the center of trouble. You know, some people say, it always found me. But in actuality, I was always finding it, or I was the one who was the trouble. You know, we always give the excuse, like our children are the great ones. And we're like, they're hanging out with the wrong crowd. What about they're the one that the crowd is hanging with, that your child is the wrong one? Nobody admits that the child is the leader of confusion. Nobody wants to admit their child is the one out there really starting all this mess. But the question, why would the creator allow? Let me say this to each and every one of you all. We have been sold a bag of rocks when it comes to the creator. Now, I'm going to tell you this right here. I don't have an ounce of understanding of all in totality of the creator. Every time I think I got it, I'm amazed at a different turn of what circumstances and life brings me. But I will say this right here. Let me start off with an example for you all to understand. Because this is the number one question to ask me. If there is a God, why then all of this evilness and killing and raping and children dying and starvation? You know, they said Henry Ford was the first one to come up with the idea of a vehicle, the automobile. And in this automobile that was created, there was a lot of components to it. And even today, there's thousands of components to a vehicle. So many that I would never be able to name. But I'll tell you this right here. Because I went to mechanic school. In that vehicle, the making, the creation by the creator, the manufacturer of it, created that automobile, knows that automobile better than anybody. And in order to convey to those who are going to use that vehicle, I have to give you at least some type of instructions on that. Now, some people are going to say, oh, okay, now he's talking about the Bible. Not necessarily. Yes, but not necessarily. But let's continue on because I'm going to make this a full circle. If you don't know how to treat the car, you will abuse the car. And what you're going to do is blame the manufacturer for creating this car that was nothing but trouble to you. But all you had to do was align up with the instructions in order to ensure that this vehicle won't give you trouble as long as you was able to maintain it. Now, the question of it is when it breaks down and leaves you stranded on the highway somewhere or out in the middle of no man's land, you mad and pissed off. But the question of it is that was it the manufacturer who would allow that to happen, or was it you? Who's the one really responsible? Because if you really got to know the manufacturer and his way in the creation of the thing that you're using, you wouldn't have nowhere to blame. But of course, what do? Very few people open up an instruction and understand the very vehicle that they're driving. What they do is crank up the car and continue to drive, start driving. And as time goes on, because people's ignorance, the manufacturer said, you know what, well, let's do the people a justice here. Let's start putting some lights and some gizmos up here on the dash so that when things go out or things are almost on the cusp of really wearing out without the owner knowing, then it will alert them. Sad part about it is people will even ignore the lights and continue to drive the car and abuse it. Because when you don't maintain, the vehicle on the maintenance and all, the car just breaks down and it leaves you in a place stranded. Now you pissed and upset at the manufacturer and you run around talking about this type of vehicle is terrible. Now let me lay that on the side of this entity, not this man that they told you that's sitting up there in the space somewhere looking down with a book writing in all the wrongs that you're doing. That's already being done by your actions because of you just an energetic being. All that is all connected together and laid out into the atmosphere, or as I call the bosom of the Most High, this powerful energy source that no man can patent, no man can go ahead and say that they know in totality that exists. I have found if you're out of alignment, just like the car, if you don't get your car aligned, what do? You hold on to the steering wheel and you let it go and it drifts. When you're out of the alignment of what you were created to be like, then man begins to behave on his own accord. Selfishness, greed, evilness begins to spring forth. And then you begin to watch the devastation that we see that is. But why would God allow? There isn't a thing about allowing and not allowing. The thing of it is that you have the power to change that. Why? Because you're in the image of it. Come on, everything that you have achieved, everything that you have attained came from what you spoke out of your mouth that you was going to do or not going to do. Isn't that true? I'm going to get married. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I hate that. I don't like that. I love this. I love that. That's my best. That's my worst. That's my everything that you say and do. You created that. But because of the selfishness of man who falls out of the alignment. See, in this atmosphere, there is a thing that they say judgment. Now, what does that mean though, y'all? What does the judgment means? That means then when you step out of line, anything happens. But we are in a fragile world that things do happen. The old saying is that the good die young. People always say that the good die young. Why does it seem like the good people are the ones who suffer the most? Number one, beyond the lie that they've been telling you, know, right there, every man has his day when he shall go. Whether you want to say 100 years, some going to say, you know, what, 1,000 years or 10,000, whatever it may, whatever it is that you may see, every man is going to see his day. And by me saying that is that we have to understand is that what's going on in America is only because the people are out of alignment. When we are out of alignment, we are now subject. Now, you know, people say, well, the 400 years is because we were sinful people, we didn't obey God, this and that. And the only thing that means is the fact that you got out of alignment. Because there's two things, the two sides of life, the good, the bad. And when you fall into the bad side, everything you're subject to. When I was living in the bad side of life, I stayed in trouble, got arrested, had a child out of wedlock, had sexual diseases. I had all these issues because I was out of alignment. I had, I was really the one who was sitting here complaining about all of this mess I'm creating for myself and trying to put it on some other entity out here instead of me realizing it was all me. God ain't got nothing to do with that. It's finished on the creation of this universe. That's all finished. Now it's about, do you get in alignment with, or are you not in alignment with? Come on now. Let me give you another example so you understand what I'm talking about. When you're in alignment or out of alignment, you know how it is. If you're upset and mad and angry and you project that energy off onto somebody else, typically you're going to get that same type of energy back. Typically, unless you walk up against somebody who's reached a higher dimension than where you are, that you might not even get a response. But typically, you're going to go and reap the very thing that you have sown and put out there. This is what's happening in our Black communities. The very things we're doing, we always take it to the nth degree too. If the white man started something, we take it to the nth degree. Do you know why? When you are a powerful people and you lay your hands to things, of course, that are of good, we excel way beyond than the rest. But then when you put your hand to things that are not of good, we excel way beyond, or decel, excuse me, not excel. We'll descend way further than the rest. It's just in our nature. When you are a great people, whether you put your hand to something good or bad, come on now, y'all. Y'all know how it is. When I was out there partying, I party hard and I put 100% in it. When I ran those women, I ran the women. I put 100% in everything I did. And I had to realize I can't be putting my hands, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, my ears, my touch on to just anything, because I take it to the next level. It's because we don't know who we are. But I'm going to open the lines up because do you think there is hope? Do you think there is hope for our brothers and sisters around the globe? Africa, South America, Central America, North Americas, whether it's in India, whether it is over in Europe, whether it is in the Asias, over in the Asian countries. We are all over the globe. Because what I see is a meltdown beyond repair that's going on in America. And people don't like it when I say it. It's because they don't have a discerning eye to see what's actually transforming. So I'm gonna put this link right here in the chat. Let me go ahead and put this in. Um, and those who want to call in, and if we have any of the brothers and sisters out here that are in Dimona, those in this community that would like to share their experience of how it may have had an effect in living in this area, not in the Western world, and how you might see the benefits. If we have some of those who have left Dimona and went back to the West, and you have a comparison to share with the people the difference that you see, call in. The link is in the chat. For those who are living in various places in the countries around the globe, that you see that maybe there is got to be a better place, or you've watched the moralities and the ethics of how we used to be that is just withering away. Call on in. The link is in the chat, because I believe I've come across the people that Yah put in place in the 60s, been here for 50 something years, that is at least a better place, a whole lot better place. Not saying that it's perfect, but they are on the heels of it, of perfection, and they're striving towards perfection. America's going to, blacks in America and the rest of the world going the opposite direction. They're running away from perfection. They're running away from the Most High. They're running to this evilness. Putting the link back in the chat. One of the most disheartening things every time I go back to America is just seeing our beautiful children gender bending, changing over, believing this is who they are, got caught up in the mix in saying that they are the opposite of what they were born coming out of the mother's womb. All right, we got a guest coming on in. Shalom, my brother. Yaron.
Shalom, shalom.
How are we doing
What's
today?
going on?
Hey, man. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, man.
Hey. I just wanted to say, first of all, I love you, man. I look at you as big bro for sure, no doubt.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And also I
You
want to
have
say you said
you
you
happen
was
to
talking
have
about
you think you're having two.
you was
I'm
talking
hearing
about
I'm hearing an echo,
about our
and
people.
so you might need to turn one of those off.
Hold on.
You're in the chat, and then you were watching from another one, so you might have to mute.
Yeah, I'm watching you on TV and I'm on my phone. So what I need to do?
The one that you calling, that you're looking on me now, you can keep that, mute the TV.
Okay, give me 1 second. Hold on. Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah.
Hear me?
I can hear you. You're breaking up a little
Okay.
bit, but go ahead.
I cut the TV off to see if that works. I
Okay, go
don't
ahead. What do you got?
know what's going on.
Where
I just wanted to say, when we was talking about I think that the only hope that we got, me personally as a people, that if we don't turn to the Most High, I don't think, it's gonna be no hope. Because he said ain't nobody gonna come for us but us. And remember, he said that road to righteousness or whatever, or to life is a narrow door and only few gonna find it. And I believe if we don't sell all the way out and just really learn his word, fall in love with him, not what we've been taught by our oppressors, like really our gonna call his
Yeah,
so
you you breaking up really bad, brother. Um, but I got a gist of what you're
okay.
saying. That
I'll probably try back later.
yeah, but we caught the gist of it. But you were going in and out.
Okay, I'll try back later. You know what I'm saying? If it was this, we would have got through. So I love you, and I'll try back later.
Okay, brother. Shalom.
All right.
All right. Hey, what's happening? Jay's life out loud. What's happening, my brother?
What's going on, brother? I'm trying to get the sound a little bit louder, but
No,
uh,
we hear you great. I hear you great. Can you hear me?
it's not you. It's on my end.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Go ahead. What you got? Cause we can hear you.
I'm just gonna say that as a black man here in America, I'm in Detroit. I work in the automotive industry, which is basically like the new age cotton field. Um, we're having a lot of supplier issues here. Just came off a 7 month layoff and getting back to work. We work in the same system where we see that white ceiling where blacks can go only so far within that system. Yesterday, no, about Thursday, I had a incident at work where they were talking about being respectful in the meetings. And, you know, a lot of people were blurting out and, and to be able to call them on the BS that goes on in this society. And I think, and I hate to go off subject, but a black man dealing with so much, as you said, it's coming to a boiling point. And it's almost like when you're making coffee or making tea and that pot starts making that noise and you
Mm-hmm.
can hear it in your head. And
Mm-hmm.
being here and dealing with the white counterparts at work and being looked over for jobs, being talked to in a certain way. And then they wonder why, when you get to that boiling point, you pop and everything comes out, all the emotions, everything that's been backed up and held inside. And I got to looking, you know, once I say, I guess what they say, your third eye is open and you begin to see how much of a joke that America is and how many things are not real. I mean, even when you go down to the money, we don't have gold. Like gold used to be whatever the currency was, how much gold we had, that's the money.
Yeah.
Um, Rent now, they're trying to get rent across the board in America to go up to $2,000 for apartments. The housing market is sky high, which I believe is going to crash. Is coming again. I believe homelessness is going to go up. I've been to certain restaurants. Me and the wife went out to Olive Garden. They had half of the restaurant open, half of the restaurant closed because there's not enough workers. Because those that died from C-19, who was going to replace these people? They're not. The
Mm-hmm.
pay is not going up, but they want more for what they're paying. And I think, like you always say, a lot of us are living in this bubble of imagination that Gucci and Prada is what's going to make us happy. And also, you were talking about like sometimes you have to destroy the whole thing to rebuild. So, in cases of even the rap, you know, I used to hear the elders say, you have to watch what comes into your ear ports and your eye ports. So if I'm constantly listening as I'm growing up from, back when I was young, the first time I heard NWA, I was like, wow, they going to jail. Like,
Yeah.
F the police and this and that. But now it's become to the point where we have so much garbage going in. Where is the positivity?
Yeah.
Where is that it's the good things that fill you up that you then spew out? But if I'm getting negative from every point, from my brothers and sisters, if I'm getting it from the Caucasian side, and a lot of times black men, we get looked at as, why are you so mad? If you understood what was going on in my brain, it's so much that kettle is boiling.
Mm-hmm.
And before I blow, I want to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my piece.
I appreciate you on that right there, brother. And most definitely, man, hey, much success to you and, venturing out and finding that place for you and yours, you know what I'm saying? Because you're absolutely right. Things are rapidly changing. Not all dynasties can last forever. They fall. And then there's always a new one that comes up. And so, um, you know, I say that where most people are saying, "Oh, America's going to fall. They're going to fall. They're going to fall." Well, whatever degree it is, whether it's on the physical side or to me, I look at it on the spiritual side. That is where we need to wake up to see that we're
Most
just
definitely.
dead people walking. We're
Oh
dead.
yeah.
We're alive, but we're just dead spiritually
Right.
walking. And so uh, that's why we see the results that we see today. America is just a dead country that it don't matter what color you are. You're gonna be mass shooting, you're gonna be doing, stealing and killing. They just put us on the main screen, black
Oh,
folks on the
most
main screen,
definitely.
but it is really as a whole. We saw the Hispanic just do it. We saw the white racist boy do it. We see us do it. And this division that I see that is going to cause this race war per se will be the downfall. And so, and that's not to wish anything. Believe me, I got family there in America. I got
Right.
my kids and my grandchild. I got my mama, my siblings are all there. And my thing is that, however which way they want to deal with and manage through whatever it is, so be it, but my thing is that I got sick and tired. I popped like you did. I got to my boiling point where it was like, I gotta go search for a better place, not just for me, but for my kids'
Oh, brother,
kids.
I'm trying to get over there where you at. Believe me,
Yeah,
I'm trying. I'm trying to
yeah,
convince the wife too.
yeah. And I tell with you too that in your journals of travels, come by Dimona Israel. You have to. I believe that everyone should be coming by Dimona Israel to give an example. If we can go to the safari to look at animals and how they behave on the safari, can we not go look at our people who left America to start a community and how they behave and operate and have built? And I
Yeah.
guarantee you probably save $3,000-4,000 more than going to watching some animals that's on a safari. I mean, it has its place and it's a beautiful thing to see, but to build your family, to get back on track, to be able to see a blueprint, to be able to see how the mindsets of those are different than the mindset of where we come from is very appealing. So let me move on, brother. I appreciate, man, you chiming in, man, and much success to you and yours.
I appreciate you even more, and keep encouraging us, man, because we need it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Peace. I'm putting the link back in, you all. I gotta have my sisters now. Life is an impossibility without our feminine energy women. The Almighty showed me this right here when I went through my divorce and I had to sit still. When I walked away from religions, I had to sit still because I was brought up to be the king of the jungle of my house, the lion king of my house. But there was a disregard, and I saw a husband and a wife towards each other. Because, of course, like I said, when you move away from the creator, the principles fall apart. So now you fight and war against each other. So I got to see that. But what I did not get to see was how a masculine and a feminine energy, attitude, if you will, a consciousness, if you will, a heart, if you will, can bond and become one and operate. And what I heard the Spirit tell me is that I will never be able to experience the Most High until I'm connected to the feminine side. That's in order for me to become complete and being the image of, I must be connected to the feminine. We have not been taught the importance of man and woman. Nature knows it really well. Man don't. Man trying to get your sons to turn into girls and your girls to turn into boys. Man is trying to keep you under the illusion or delusional by keep legalizing drugs to keep you in a stupid state of mind. You're drinking your liquor and all that to keep numbing you to forget about your pain. This is what society does. Go to the doctor, get more prescription drugs. My wife says that so many people, and she won't do it. She don't issue out those drugs. She says, let's get to the root of the problem. By you coming here searching for the drugs to help you function day to day, I can refer you out if you need mental help by those psychologists or psychiatrists. Or we can sit here and we can have some conversations that can go through, and get to some root problems. But to give you a medicine to handle your issues, your strains, your struggles, your stress is a dereliction of her as a daughter of the Most High. If she can't share with you how the Most High is impactful and that you can allow the presence of there is to flow through you to become that God that you are, drugs ain't going to do it because she's seen it happen time and time again. You're going to want more and stronger. Then your body's going to get used to that, and then you're going to be out here in a world of trouble. Hence what we see, they call it the epidemic of the prescription drugs. This is a society that we live in. All right, I think I accidentally done put myself out of there. But what we need is some of our sisters to call into as well. As I put the link in the chat, let me hear from you. Does America stand a chance to survive? America as a whole, or even the Black community, or in America, or in the UK, or in Canada, or in South America, Brazil, folks, where y'all? Because y'all off the chain too. Off the chain. Jamaica, off the chain. how are we going to do it? I said we got to go back to the basics. That's what I say, because when it's let me put the link. Yeah, the link is in the chat for those right there. I need my sisters to call in too as well. Like our brothers are calling in. Believe me, sisters, I'm gonna tell you all this right here. All right, I hate to say tell. Let me share this with you all. Don't let anybody tell you that your input is not needed. I need my wife's input for me to stand on my own perception. I would deprive myself of the fullness that has been given us. I would only look through the eyes of my perception and will never gain another side of what God has created for us to enjoy. We got our sister in. We got our sister in. Yes. Charity. Shalom,
Yes.
sister.
Shalom. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I must say, I just start following. I just found your link maybe about or
Uh,
probably about 3 weeks or so ago.
okay. All right.
And I've definitely been enjoying the journey. It's just amazing how the decline has happened so rapidly. And
Mm-hmm.
my husband and I, we are Israelites. And so we're home on the Sabbath. We're resting.
Mm-hmm.
I got my little ones here.
Yep.
And we talk about this. And we talk about, I know my husband, his heart is to try to reach as many of our people here. I'm ready to
Where are you?
go.
Where
We're
are
in
you?
Florida.
Florida. Okay.
We
Okay.
live in Florida, in the U.S. And so I'm ready to go. But
Mm-hmm.
he feel that the Most High has put on his heart to try to reach as many here because he can see the decline rapidly happening. And he's like, if we're not a voice for our people here,
Mm-hmm.
then I want to be able to take as many along with us on our journey. So he felt that that's what our calling is right now, to be an example of the nuclear family, of the way
Okay.
that Yahweh had
Yeah.
set it up for us to be.
Yep.
And so we try to let I agree with you as far as the medicine. We're expecting our third now,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
thank you. I'm 43, so every time I
Yeah.
go in there, they're trying to give me different things. And I just had a conversation this week, even in our medical system. I said, listen, I don't feel that you're giving me personal care. I feel that you're giving me statistical care. You're telling
Yep.
me because I'm a certain age and because of my ethnicity that automatically that puts me at risk for all these other stuff. If you look at my health records, I'm in perfect health. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
the continuing of the testing, and so I've rejected all the medicines. I'm like, we have a garden here. I said I get a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables right here in the backyard, and we eat pretty well. The beginning of the pregnancy was rough, so I ate a lot of stuff. I only ate what I could hold down for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but man, it was so liberating to get back to the way I was normally eating. And I said, I think my iron had dropped. I said, well, when you think about it, I said, the personal care would look at the situation. I was in perfect health prior to. Think about how my eating has changed
Mm-hmm.
because I can only eat what my body would allow me to at the time, and I wasn't taking in as much iron.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so I began to take the iron. I'd rather take more close to a natural supplement as I can. I said, but think about those things. I said, now I have full of energy. I'm back to eating the way that I was normally eating. I said,
Mm-hmm.
so now see where everything is before you try to give me these medicines. And oh God, they send me referrals. I'm at the doctor almost every week. And I had to stop. I said, listen,
Yeah.
there's nothing, you're looking for something. Okay, so I said, think about why my iron levels dropped. I'm like, it's so simple. I wasn't eating the proper diet that I'm usually eating because for whatever reason, with the beginning of the pregnancy, I just had so many aversions and I couldn't hold a lot down. It even
Mm-hmm.
tells me a lot of this outside of what I would garden at home. And I noticed what I garden at home, I didn't have any issues with. But even when I would buy organic fruits and vegetables from the store, I was having aversions to them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's the system is in everything. It's in our food, it's in the air, it's in how we're treated. I told my husband, I said, I feel like a science experiment to these people at this point. And so I began to cancel some things. And I said, now, if every time I come in here to my regular visits, everything is on track, I don't see the need of trying to go to this person and this person and this person. And it just doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
systemically, I mean, it's even in the medical system. I applaud your wife for saying, hey, we're not giving drugs here. We're going to get to the root of the problem.
Hmm.
And it's just amazing to hear you say that, because I was just having that conversation with my physician this week. Like, listen, no. If you look at my lifestyle, we're a very active family. We homeschool our kids. I said, so we're everywhere. They're very social. We eat well. We do a lot of things. That decline at the beginning, I said, so that only makes sense that yes, those other effects in my blood system will be affected by that. I
Yeah.
said, now that we're back on track, you can quite see. I'm sure all my levels are back up. It's very simple, and the solution was very simple. But it's like, even in our medical world here, it's on a complete decline. I can't wait, and I'm praying that
Have you been over the water yet? Have
I've been
y'all
in the
been?
Caribbean. I've been in Turks and Caicos. I've been in
Hmm.
Bahamas. I love Jamaica. I've been
Hmm.
mainly at the Caribbean. I would stay at a resort there, and even then, I would try to get out with the locals. Because I wanted to see life outside of the resort life is it's so
Oh yeah.
beautiful, and they show you all the wonderful things. But I love being with the people, and I tell you, um, of the three, I'm originally from Los Angeles, but I live here in Florida now. But of the three different I love the way the Bahamas was set up. They try to set up for their people. Turks and Caicos was the same. We had to kind of go through someone there in
Hmm.
order to get established there. But man, the people of Jamaica, they just won my heart. And
Hmm.
so it's because I love the strong communities that they have. It reminds me of when I grew up. I can go down the street and everybody was in our lives. We were raised by the neighborhood. It wasn't just my mom. It was my mom. It was the neighbor down the street. I bet not do anything wrong, because before my mother ever came home,
Yeah.
someone called her up and said, hey, this is, and I missed that. Even where we moved to, we lived in a predominantly white neighborhood, and I started to see the effects of how it was on my children. So we
Hmm.
were thankful to find this house, um, and what they would consider the hood.
Hmm.
But man, there's so many prominent people here, and one of the historians literally lived right across the street from us. So she would take us on a walk in the neighborhood and tell us about our greatness here in this community and what happened to this community. And I did some research on my own. I'm like, wow, there was a man who took a lot of the resources out of the community, because it was his own city. We had our own taxes here. It's a town called Goldsboro. So it's definitely something to research.
In
And
Florida.
so, yes, Goldsboro. And so
Okay. I used to be. I
found
used to
out
live
there was
in
a man.
Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, so I'm amazing to see what the connection would be. But the founders of this community, we had our own everything going on here. And so there was a man named Forrest Lake who decided to borrow money out of the city because the neighbor, it's within the city of Stanford. So what was happening, the other people in Stanford were declining, thriving. So what we did was they borrowed
Your
money
connect
from the city.
your
And
connection is going out. She Her connection going out. Oh, 1 second. Try to call back in, sister. Try to call back in if you can hear me. Yeah, the link is back into the chat. I'm gonna put it back out here again, family, for those who want to share. Do you think America, the black communities around the globe, have a standing fight, a chance to overcome a lot of destruction within themselves, as well as those who are uh, that is outside of them within the system? Do we have a standing fight? Should we move? Should we stay? Should we go other places? What are your thoughts? What are your views? What do you say? The link is in the chat so you all can call in. I'm looking for my brothers and sisters. Come on, I know each and every one of you all. I'm looking for some young ones, some ones who maybe been part of the community here in Israel, maybe those in Dimona, and those who might be in other countries outside of the Western world. Uh, what's going on in your neck of the woods? You know, what is it going on? Because um, I got about 50, say we'll do 15 more minutes and come to a close because I wanted just to do this because it's something I feel is on my heart to share with you all the moving experience that I've had since I've been here in Dimona, Israel, with the Hebrew Israelites in the community, of people who have set a bar through the Most High of being a people of walking a life of standing upright. Um, okay, so sister, let me ask you a question. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
we're back.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Okay, so y'all in Florida, you were saying you're living in a community, black community.
Hmm. Yes, and
Is the
so
black
we found
community
out.
is the community, how is the community? Is it healthy? Is it standing on principle? Is it because you said you're an Israelite? Is it,
Yes.
how is it? Share with us.
Well, I'm finding, there's going to be issues everywhere, right? And
Yeah,
so I see where a lot of our brothers and sisters here, they were very welcoming. It was almost like, returning back home. It was amazing. Now I see some, the issue that I see, there is some division, even though there's a lot of camaraderie. Like one day my sister came to visit, my husband had went off to work, and the neighbor across the street, my sister's car stalled out, and she lives in Georgia, and so she just flagged down someone. He was riding on a bike, and you would think, a lot of people, we stereotype our own people, would think, oh, he must be, dusty. He's riding on a bike. Well, he was actually getting around. The gas is high. So she flags him down, and he goes and he gets his car, beautiful vehicle, nice, well dressed young man. You couldn't see from the distance on the bike, and he came and started her car. So there still is a sense of community even here. That my
okay.
neighbor can flag down someone, and someone that she knew riding a bike down the street, and he came right over. So he parked his bike, brought his car over, and started up her car. And so, the in the neighborhood I lived in before, I would never get that kind of assistance.
Yeah,
Just a minute, please. Just a minute. Just a minute, please. Hold on. Just a minute. I'll get you. Shh. Jesse, just a minute, sweetie. Go get a pear. Go get a pear. You want cereal? Okay, sit down. I'll get you some more, please. Just a minute. And so there's still that sense of community here, even though there's some brokenness. Then you have the guy who riding a bike who truly is homeless. You know what I'm saying? But I
mm,
do see, when I speak with a lot of the neighbors, I was like, man, I wish we can get our money up, because now they're building a lot over here, a lot of investors, and it's starting to change the face of the people that are here.
mm-hmm,
So we said, man, we moved here to be with our people, and now they're building up over here because of the devastation. Oh, like I was saying before, when they had took a lot of the finances out of the community, what he was able to go to the Supreme Court in Tallahassee to do is to annex this town back into the city of Stanford. Never repaid the money. Never repaid the money back. And so it left this community in devastation because they had pulled all the resources out before they did that. And
mm-hmm,
then, so a lot of the families are original families that are still here. Matter of fact, my neighbor across the street, she's retired. She was born on her property. That was her grandparents' property, and she was able to keep it and maintain it. But a lot of us were not able to maintain and keep up with the properties. So
mm-hmm,
in that, a lot of them sold to the investors who are now coming in and replacing us with their own people. We all know how gentrification works. And so I talked to some of the neighbors and said, hey, can we come up with money? And they said, yeah, we can do that. But as soon as we come up with the money to start buying up some of these other properties, they raise the price and they make it very difficult. So it's still going on to this day. It's sad. And it was even more heartbreaking to come back to our own community, because my husband, his family is actually very prominent in the neighborhood. And we didn't know that until his father had passed, unfortunately. And then we found more about it. We came to learn a lot about his father's family and how prominent they really were, and the things that they did and established here in this community. So it was truly a return back home. We felt it, but we didn't know how significant it was until after his father had passed and his funeral. And then there were all the exploits of what his father had done and what his family had established here in this neighborhood, this very neighborhood. And we were just amazed and very proud to be a part of that type of community, the strength of it. And many families actually, they bulldoze their houses, but they keep the properties. And they literally would get together and have family gatherings on their properties, on empty
Mm,
lots, but they'll have their trees still up. They'll have their kids out there playing. They'll have their they'll cook out there. They'll just spend the day out there. You just go down the road and you can see a family on an empty lot just, chopping it up. And it's amazing to see. But at the same time, as soon as we, drive out of here, we're back in Babylon. you know? So you see some divisions. You see a couple neighbors feuding with each other over silly stuff. But then you see, for the most part, when it really comes to the heart of what's going on here, people seem to really have each other's backs and try to look out for one another. I can't do anything without someone across the street. Hey, I saw something going on at your house. What's going on? Oh, that's just my family coming to visit. Because, they see a car they don't normally see. Who is
hmm
this? And so they still try to have some type of a connection. But with the investors coming in, I just see that changing really soon, and it's sad. But I'm all for you, man. I hope to one day, you know, get out of here and do what we need to do as a people. I've been looking at Zambia. I don't know if you looked into that. I've been looking at Zambia. My husband will probably do a little better in South Africa because of what he does for a living. But I've been looking, man. I can't wait for the day that we might can go out there because I really don't see this place getting any better. It's definitely going down.
So
Um,
you haven't visited the continent.
no, I haven't been on the continent
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're
Virtually,
gonna pass
yes,
the mic.
but
I appreciate you, Sister Charity. I appreciate your words and calling in. And much success and blessings to you and your family and your new, soon to be new addition.
God
Yeah.
bless.
All right. God bless. Take care. Okay, we have Kira. Hello. Oh, hold up. Let me take you off mute. Okay, Kira,
Hi, Brother Kofi.
how are you doing, sister?
I am excellent, thank you. Let me put my camera back on. I
Yeah,
met you
I say,
today.
why you hiding your beautiful smile? Why you went behind the silhouette?
Well, I was making sure that I was set up properly.
hmm
Um, I didn't even know I was going to be coming in. I thought you
Okay.
probably had to let me come in. So, anyways, I didn't want to be on when someone else is talking like that. But
hmm
anyway, I met you today. It was nice meeting you because I told you that I had been following you for a couple of months, and I was inspired to see what you were doing. I was excited because I was like, wow, here's a brother who's sharing with us his experience about Africa, and it was helpful to me because, and I was glad because of the fact that you were exposing the beautiful continent, showing us the continent, how beautiful it is,
hmm
and putting our eyes back towards Africa. And relevant to your question about can communities, um, Black communities,
hmm
survive in America,
hmm
I always like to go back to the scriptures, Genesis 12, where we know that we were have been put into slavery, and all of us don't know why. But according to the scriptures, that because of our disobedience to the Creator, who we love so much, we basically turned away from the laws. And it was the Creator that, quote unquote, that put us into captivity, unbeknownst to most of us, according to the scriptures. Okay. So, and he tells us in Genesis 12 that the seed of Abraham, if you will, if we are considered the seed of Abraham, those who go by those, by the scriptures, that his people will go into captivity and they will worship a people that they don't even know. And they will be sold as male and female slaves. But we will come out of it with great substance. Okay. And we knew that at a time in our lives that we would not have to endure the hate, the prejudiceness and the racism, you know, if we have a choice, in other words. And again, like I said, according to the scriptures, we're not supposed to be in this captivity or in this hell, but like 400 years. And according to some um, researchers or scholars, that our time is up. And he said that he will return us back to our land. And we know that we came from Africa. Most Black people are aware that we are considered Africans, you know. So I feel that Africa is a place for African or Edenic people to return back if they ever decide to, I want to go to another place. And Africa is a beautiful place. But we have, I remember one of your videos, you were talking about how, you know, growing up in the 60s, and I think we all experienced it, how Africa was depicted, you know,
Mhm.
as it was this jungle and, you know, wasn't nothing there. And, you know, everybody is poor and starving. So it's sort of like, you know, put that image out there for people to, especially African Americans, to turn away from Africa, not to want to be a part of Africa because, you know, they felt that everybody was suffering, in which that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because you have shown us, you know, through your videos, which are very good, you know, the beauty of Africa. And Africa is a country that is rich with the resources that's been raped through the European um, culture leaders who have come and, you know, just raped Africa from all of its resources in order for them to really be in the situation where they are, you know, quote unquote, supposed to be, you know, high and mighty and rich, you know, America or European countries. But the only way they were able to even rise to their status is because of the resources that they have extracted from Africa. So I
Yeah.
feel that anyone in this day and time should, especially African Americans, and if we don't consider, we may not be able to get back in there. I left out what 15 years ago, and I've been a part of the community for 30 years, and I'm fortunate and blessed to be in perfect health because of the lifestyle of the community.
So you've been here in
So
Israel for how many years?
15 years,
15 years you've been here. Okay.
yes.
You left,
Uh-huh.
what state did you leave in America?
I left from St. Louis. I was living in St. Louis when I left. I was
Okay.
born in Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and I lived in Washington D.C. for half of my life, little bit more than half of my life, about 20 some years. Then I went to St. Louis, but I lived in Washington D.C. is where I met the community, and I was on a journey to get to Israel. So it took me
Okay.
like 10 years before I made the decision to actually move here because we understand that Israel is Northeast Africa and is the home of our ancestors. And this
Mm-hmm.
is the land that we were supposed to return back to. However, we understand that everybody are not able to come into Israel. So then I meet who our spiritual leader started to investigate more and put more time and resources into Africa. And he told us that we have to turn our eyes back to Africa. Africa is a very profound country. It is not, this world that we're living in, the European world, is overdeveloped. So it's really, for lack of a better word, bad for our health with all of the pollution and everything that's going on in America, the processed food, the hormones, inflated foods. So, but if you go to Africa, our job is to go back to build Africa, if you will. And it tells us that in the scripture that our land is desolate and people have come in and have trodden down on Africa. If we read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, we will see that and not start in the middle of the book at the book of Matthew, the New Testament. So it's a lot of education that we have to do. But I'm happy that I don't even realize you know that that's your mission is to expose the people to the country, but you're doing it. So it's obviously your mission. And it's just, I was excited to see someone exposing, showing us Africa because I do consider traveling to Africa myself, you
Hmm.
know, other parts of Africa just to scope the land because everybody that goes there, they always talk about how beautiful it is and
Oh
the
yeah.
beautiful people. And I want to experience that. You know, I
Well,
love
yeah.
my people in
Yeah.
America. I
Hmm.
love my African roots in America. Black people, we are the most beautiful people in the world, and we are nobody, no culture is like our culture. We have a very, very defined culture of people. So
And
I
when
just like
we
to add that.
and I thank you for that. Really, I really do thank you for that. And you know, the most beautiful thing about us as a people is when we're doing it right, we even
Hmm.
look that much more beautiful when we doing
Yes.
it right, you know.
Hmm.
I mean, you know, so it's and that's the beauty that I like being here in Dimona, Israel, seeing the
Hmm.
community is that, you know, like I said, there's not perfection, but there, you know, are striving for
Yes.
perfection.
Right.
And that striving and that attempt doesn't mean that, you know, you are flawless, but at least you're trying to do right. And that
Hmm.
is something that is refreshing to see of people who are living a life striving for that perfection. And it's poured into their children, and you see it, you discern
Hmm.
it on the spirit of the children. That is
Hmm.
beauty. Beautiful. So I thank you, my sister, Kira,
You're welcome.
for coming in.
I'm glad I was able to contribute.
All right.
How
Shalom.
long are you going to be in Israel?
I cannot reveal that information.
Okay, understand. Understand.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to see you around. I'm
Okay.
visiting because I don't live in Dimona. I'm visiting from the northern Hasharon area. But
Okay.
since it's my community and you know what was going on, the New World Passover, so I came to participate.
All right. Well, thank you
So
for
hope to
coming
see
in.
you around. You're
Okay.
welcome. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
What's happening, my brother Chris Tap?
Hey, brother, Go Black. How you doing, man?
And I'm doing well. What about yourself?
I'm doing excellent. Well, where do I start? Well, first of all, I want to thank you for doing what you're doing, man. I tune into you. My 13-year-old son, you know, he lives with me. You know, he watches you also, and
Okay.
it gets to the point now where we driving to school in the morning. He say, "Dad, play Go Black." So now, well, I can't watch the brother while I'm driving, but you know, but from one veteran to another, man, I did 4 years Marine Corps, 7 years Army. I want to thank you. Also, I got some good news for you, brother, man. I got my African ancestry back. My paternal side is Burkina Faso.
Oh, for real?
That's my
Okay.
paternity. My paternal is Burkina Faso. And I kind of messed up, brother, Go Black, because you know when you order African ancestry, I didn't stroll down the page far enough to see where I could order both of them. And so now it's like I could have saved some money and got both, but now I got to go back and order my mom's and do my mom's side.
Yeah.
Um, Also, the other good news is, you know, my son's mom, she only lived 14 miles from us. And, you know, he's always over there every weekend, every other
Mm.
weekend. And she had a vision, brother, Go Black. And her vision was the ancestors had told her if we could move our son over to Africa, to Ghana, you know, she'll sign off on that. And
Ooh.
now, brother, Go Black, she brought that vision to me around this time last summer. And I said, give me exactly 18 months. Give me 1 year to 18 months because she didn't like the climate inside this country. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. You know, born and raised. I spent 3 years of high school in West Tennessee. I'm in San Antonio, Texas now. And although we're divorced, the universe was talking and the ancestors was, brother, Go Black, because I had that same vision 18 months, 2 years before she came to me with it. And I was actually thinking in 1 year out, like, you know, something, if she let me, if she would be cool with that, I will move our young king over to Africa. And so far, brother Go Black, I've been looking at the Gambia, I've been looking at Ghana.
Mhm.
My good buddy, him and his queen, he lives in they live in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Where you at? Not right now physically, but you get my point.
Yep.
I got another brother, a buddy of mine who lives in Nairobi, Kenya, and his wife was from Capella, Uganda, and I just now put in for a house over in Capella, Uganda. So
Okay.
I'm giving myself a deadline, Go Black, by the end of this summer right here, i.e. Christmas break. And the reason why I'm willing to stretch it to Christmas break is because although the country is in the climate that it's in right now, my son says, Dad, I play soccer, I run track, but I really want to play tackle football. Now, you may feel like, well, Chris, at what expense? Because something can happen between now and then. But I look at it like I just need the universe and the ancestors to roll with me and my young king until the end of football season, and we're gonna make that move. Um,
Hey,
but
you
and
got
that's
to do.
all.
Hey, you got to do. That's between you, yeah, and the Most High, man. That's yeah. I don't
Yeah,
got no thoughts on that. Yeah.
and it's funny because all I do, I watch you, I watch Wadi, I watch the bag, your brother THC. I was watching Sister Art Kathy. Juliet, she's in the Gambia. That's all I do. I don't have no cable here. All I do is just feed my mind and my spirit and what needs to happen. I did the application for my passport, my son's application for his passport. Everything's a go, brother. Go Black.
Well,
Everything's
that's
a go.
good. That's awesome. That's good to hear, man. You're making steps in that you're being obedient to the voice that you heard within, and that the
What's that?
voice spoke to your son's mother to allow you to go. You know that ain't nothing, man. But the spirit of the Lord. You know what I'm talking about, because I mean, and for a woman to give that release of her
Mhm.
child and your child as well speaks volumes. Speaks volumes.
Well,
Once,
I don't. This may be an awkward, crazy statement, brother. Go Black. But I've always said, I said, you know, I have the greatest former ex-wife a person can have. I mean, she's a wonderful former wife. She's a great mom. And again, we're only 14 miles apart, so it's not like
yeah,
and there's no tension, there's no beef. But she want me to move him over to Ghana. And I sent her stuff about Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I sent her stuff about the Gambia. And brother, she just like, no, Chris. She's just like, no, Chris, Ghana, Ghana, Ghana. And so what I did was, brother, Go Black, when I got my African ancestry back, hey, what's up, brother THC?
What's going on?
LBC, Long Beach. All right. Um, I was out there near you, man, when I was in the Marine Corps station in Camp Pendleton.
I know that place. I know
Yeah,
it
I was
well.
I always eat over there at M&M Soul Food Restaurant right there in on Carton near Casa Dominguez Hills.
Oh yeah, I know that spot. Yeah, yeah, right over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
hmm I got
yeah.
I got people over there.
So what I did, brother Go Black, was I researched my people, the Bisa people, in Burkina Faso, originally from South Central. I'm sorry, South Central Burkina Faso, the Bisa tribe. But right now, as we speak, I think it's like 1.1 million Bisa that's in Ghana. Now, if you look at it, Go Black, half a million, 500,000 is still in Burkina Faso. But if you look at Botanga, Ghana, it's not that far from the Burkina Faso border, and that's roughly like 500,000 people. So I told his mom, I said, well, we can kill two birds with one stone. Do your research on Botega. I hope I'm saying it right, brother. Go Black. Do your
mhm.
research on Botega, Ghana. There's a nice sized Bisa community there, and if you give it a go, that's why I'll be moving our young king to myself.
Okay.
No,
Well, I
I
appreciate you.
prefer I prefer the Gambia and or Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, but she just like nah, Ghana, Ghana, Ghana. So I'm not gonna pick that fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be humble with that one.
Hey, yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that story, man. And hey, definitely, man. Much success to you and yours, and in your endeavors, man.
I appreciate you, Go Black. The one brief question I have for you: when you started your travels, when you just converted, like it's not about Christianity and all that stuff, the brainwashing. Was it something that was the gut feeling that was sent, Because if it is, that's the way I've been kind of feeling these last couple of years. If I may ask that question to you.
Nah, it wasn't a gut feeling. It was just it was time. I mean, it's not one particular thing. It's things as time goes on to get you to see something
Yeah.
and to hear something, and then you make a decision. So
Hmm.
in saying that, yeah, that's when I departed, the church and all that right there. When I heard that it was time for me to go and on to the next dimension of life. That's why I tell people I graduated Christianity.
Yes.
I
Yes.
graduated. So I don't knock it for anybody who's on that path. It was a good starting point for me.
Yes.
But I went to the next level and where I felt I was called to go to the next dimension of life. So yeah, that's how I was. So I appreciate that though. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I was born and raised Baptist. And then something just happened. I started seeing things like I used to feel that was funny. Wasn't funny no more. And I started just looking at things internally and deeply, and my whole mindset shifted. So
Yeah.
I totally agree, brother. It wasn't a gut feeling. It was just something just shifted in Chris.
Yeah.
And it's very very deep and very very spiritual. And like you said, I graduated from Christianity. I'm a Christian in spirit. I'm a Muslim in spirit, like you say. So that's what I am.
Yeah. All right, man. Chris, I appreciate you, man. Hey man, you have a beautiful day, man. Peace and blessings to you and yours.
Hey, brother, you too. Thank you for your time. Hey, THC, have a good one, brother.
You too, brother, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for your service too, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Same here, brother. Got the
The
veterans on here.
THC, the happy companion. What's up, brother? What's going
What's
on
up,
with
brother,
you?
man? Good to see you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go black to Africa. Okay, go black to Africa.
All right.
Man,
Yeah.
I was like amazed, man, to see you on here in Israel, bro. I was like, that's one of the places that I love to go, and that I don't want to go because of certain instances. But that city,
Yeah.
Dom,
Yeah. Dimona.
Dimona, yes.
Uh-huh.
When I was in LA and Cali, there's a lot of brothers Hebrews. They be at the malls, they be shopping and stuff. I mean, when I'm shopping, I talk to them, I see them, and they mention it. So that's one place that I would like to visit if I ever go there. Masjid Askar and that place as well. And on my channel and stuff, I talk about the Islamic stuff and stuff, Islam and whatever. But I also
Yeah.
recognize the Hebrews, and a lot of brothers from the Hebrew and sisters always contact me and they get a lot of love. They give me love
Yeah.
big time. And so, and they said I have Mende in me, I have Igbo, I have all these tribes that they say is part of the Hebrew ancestry. So I respect that, and I know that
Yeah.
we were just more than I follow Islam, that, but what I'm saying, I can't deny my ancestry, my history as well. And so,
Yeah.
man, I'm really happy to what you're doing out there, man, because I see, can it be, that's Northeast East Africa. And that's why I try to tell people as well. They don't believe that, what I'm saying. But I heard you say it, I heard many people say it, and I'm like, I believe that. And the one sister said she wanted to go to dark Africa, not dark Africa, the mainland Africa as well, the central,
Yeah.
east, the west. So I understand that. But Africa has changed me, and I've been to several holy grounds, holy places, holy cities, and I've seen how it's changed me. Look, I'm growing my beard out. I'm doing, what I'm saying? So I'm in
Mhm.
the Gambia, and I want to check that out. I want to really check that place out one day. And what I was asking is it difficult to get there? Is there any tribulation, as far as getting visas and stuff? Okay.
If you got American passport, you don't need no visa.
Oh,
You can come right straight
shoot.
on
I
in.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need no
Yeah.
visa. You come straight on right on in. Yeah.
Okay.
You just fill out a
Yeah.
form, entry form. You fill out an entry form that they just know that you're coming. Once
Okay.
you
Okay.
arrive, they just look. You just show them a copy of their acceptance of you coming, and that's it, man. But you don't need no visa or any of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah, brother.
You
Good
know,
to see you, man. Y'all, for those who out there don't know THC, check his channel out. He also is putting out some great content coming from Gambia, a brother who left the LBC in California and who's doing great things there in the Gambia, started businesses and all that right there, as well as married an African sister there in
Yep.
the continent. Um,
Yep.
and so, check him out. He got some good content. Where's your next country you going to, brother? I know that we were together there in
Yeah.
Sierra Leone. Where you headed next?
hmm You know, I have. I was keeping it. I ain't gonna keep it a secret. I think Guinea may be the next one, or the Ivory Coast. Guinea.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I think Guinea because there's a. Uh, I served in the military. I was in the Air Force and Coast Guard, but a sister I know from the Air Force side, knew for 20 years practically. She actually came out to Cali. I mean, I was staying in Georgia. She actually stayed at me and my brother. We stayed at a house and stuff for a month and stuff. So we
Mhm.
she's in Guinea, but she's a
Okay.
U.S. citizen, but born in Guinea. And her brothers and everybody want her family, want me to come there. So I'm thinking about going there next. And it's not too far of a flight. Like Sierra Leone wasn't too far of a flight.
Yeah.
It's not too
Yeah.
difficult to get there. So
Well,
I
I'm gonna
think
hit you with
Guinea. I
a
know they
question.
speak French. Yeah, and they have
Yeah.
similar tribes that similar ethnic groups from Gambia in Guinea as well, just
Oh
like
yeah.
Sierra Leone. So I think that when I was thinking about um, Monrovia, that but that as well. There's some people who want me to come there and say hello. The next one, Cameroon is pretty far. I want to go there, but I think Guinea may be the next spot. And I may even go to Nigeria again. But yeah, definitely Guinea. I think in the Ivory Coast because things closer to my area. I can get on
Yeah.
ASCII airline or one of those airlines. It get right there, round trip, and
Okay.
quickly lickety split. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Everybody subscribe to this
Well.
brother's channel if you're just watching. Don't just be a looky loo. Tell you, man, this
Yeah.
man is awesome. So go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna hit you with this question. We're gonna come to a close
Yes, sir.
because you from Long Beach, California,
Okay.
and I'm quite sure you've seen a whole lot during them '90s when, a lot of the crack epidemic during the '80s and the gangs in the
80s.
'80s and '90s, and you know, and where it is today. And this
Mhm.
topic is, can America Black communities survive?
Yes.
What is your take on that as far as America may be concerned, or any other community that you see maybe out there that you have an experience with? What is your take on that?
My take on it is that actually somebody asked that question. Shout out to Rock Shakur from Eastside Long Beach. He's in the chat. That's my homeboy from since elementary school. Shout out to Rock Shakur. Subscribe to his channel. He's my brother there. I know him for many
Yeah,
years. Well, I had a question like that came up. I think that we can rebuild the community from within. Everybody's talking about having a big piece of land designated for African diasporas, or a whole state designated for us, so we can build there. I think that would be far-fetched because that's not probably going to happen. We just have to either migrate to those certain state and do it on our own, or we build where we at now. So when I see Long Beach, and like I said, I saw the destruction in the 80s. I graduated high school in 88. And I saw how it changed people, in my family, people, my friends in school got addicted and stuff. And it just changed the whole, that's why I bounced, I bounced in the military. But I see that taking one block at a time, take over. You got all these people who are not part of the community, who are not part of ethnicity that are owning homes and apartment buildings in Long Beach. I'm just going to speak from Long Beach, and they're not even living there. They're just living off of our poor, like people on Section 8, people on welfare, people, they're just milking us to death. Now, if there's a way that some of us, and I mentioned on my life about Snoop Dogg, I went to high school with him and Cameron Diaz as well. I mean, people like that should be like owning like blocks of homes, their apartments, just start buying them out and renting them. Cameron Diaz is cool though. A lot of my people know her. She was down there. I remember her at school, but she's not necessarily, you know, Black community, but she lived with us and she understood what was going on. But I think that we should try to own portions of that at a time and then redo it, you know, with the sidewalks, with the, you know, the grass, you know, the lawns and stuff, and just have educational centers within, you know, we got Kings Park over there. We got Martin Luther King Park. We got two different parks. It should be more of a Afrocentric type of educational places. And, you know, you have Mexicans and Asians who live in there as well in Long Beach, but it's particularly they kind of mix in with the Black community. But if we want to rebuild, I think revive it. I think that's one start where we at right now, and then start owning property and get those people who own it now. They can go somewhere else and try to own those lands, but we should own it within our own selves and then make it better. You know, that's what I think it starts. That's a start. You know, what do you?
Well, I
That's my
appreciate it.
to the Lassies.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. You know, there's so many solutions,
Yeah.
and one solution is better than no solution. And
Yes.
somehow, some way, we have to start somewhere. My solution is starting your foundation over again in the faith of the Most High, that I say, or the Creator is what I
True.
call.
True.
Allah, some people say. God, some people call. You know, that spiritual entity that is with us, that is through us, that is us. And if we could at least acknowledge that, I believe that that beginning will be much more prosperous than where the state of the mind that we are in today. And so I'm going to go ahead and call this an end right here. Appreciate you coming in, THC, man. Good to see you, man. Most definitely. You all, again, go ahead and subscribe to THC's channel. He's giving concrete. He lives in Gambia. Those who need information and all that there. He's got businesses and all right there. He's involved in with land too, right?
Yeah, land construction. I got building fences, all that. I got another company that started months ago. We get it all together. Storage of people's belongings when people ship stuff. We got that going. You know, that's what we're doing. I have actually got a container. We got a container that's coming pretty soon. Everybody's getting it together. That's going to be if anybody want to split the container. That's what we're trying to get going, so we can, you know, because people don't know what's going on. I'm gonna be stronger in the repatriation process here, and there's plenty of room here. There's many people who are part of it. People said I should be part of it, so I'm going to be assisting people. Also provide consultations as well. Kings of King consultations for the brothers who want to know how it is to be a Black man in Africa as opposed to in the diaspora. It's a 180-degree difference, my brothers. So hook a brother, you know. Hook me up. Hit me up, call me up, you know, see me on there. So, you know, just check out my channel, like he said, but subscribe to this brother, man. Thank you so much for having me on the show, brother. It's an honor.
All right, brother. Peace out. And to the rest of you all, you know, let me just say that, you know, just like the THC and many other brothers and sisters that are across the globe, or even if it's in the continent of Africa, you know, I say this right here. It ain't got to be Africa. There's people who swear they found a place for them. My thing is that if you find a place that is for you, that you know that you could reach your full potential, that you're being respected, given your opportunity to live in peace and harmony, I don't care where it is. But for me in my house, you know, I am looking into the motherland because I was born in the motherland, and humanity was born in the motherland. And so in saying that, I believe all things should go back always from the beginning of its rightful state, which I believe Africa is the answer for the rest of the world. And when I say that Africa is the answer, we're not talking about their religions and all that. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about tangible things. I'm talking about things that are on a spiritual level when it comes to us learning a way of life, having a peace within a family unit, having a respect and an honor. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about coming and starting businesses and building houses and buying land. I'm talking about getting somewhere, sitting down and becoming the watcher and getting rid of a lot of garbage that we have taken on from those that aren't out for your own best interests. With that, family, this is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. Peace out, family. May you enjoy each and every one of your days. I'm out.